You may be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Max Blaylock, the college chaplain, and I'd like to welcome you to this historic, joyous occasion as we celebrate and recognize Dr. Abiódún Gòkè-ParÍolá as the 12th president of North Central College. You might have noticed that he's been president for over a year, and he's been challenging us to be more joyful, take more challenges, and dance like no one is looking. Check out his Instagram. But we're not only celebrating GP, but we're also celebrating the North Central community, a community that values acting with integrity, holding each other accountable, and caring for one another. Throughout its 164 years, North Central has been connected to communities of faith. First to the Evangelical United Brethren denomination, and then and now the United Methodist Church. Our ceremony now continues with a welcome and prayer from the Bishop of the United Methodist Church in this region, Bishop Dan Schwerin.
Grace and peace to you. I'm Dan Schwerin, the bishop assigned to the Northern Illinois-Wisconsin area of the United Methodist Church. And as the resident bishop and member of the Board of Trustees, I would like to join you virtually in order to lead you in an invocation and offer words of blessing on behalf of your founding faith communion. On this occasion of the installation of President Gòkè-ParÍolá, I would like to personally congratulate him and the North Central College community on this historic event. This occasion is an opportunity to confirm, support, and pray for our new leader, as well as to seize a moment to remember something of our founding identity and vision. We are not the first who loved North Central College. North Central was founded in 1861 as Plainfield College in Plainfield, Illinois, by the Evangelical Association, a predecessor denomination of the United Methodist Church that was staunchly abolitionist. We were one of the first co-educational colleges in the region, and our charter certified openness to all genders and races, a radical stance for the Civil War era. While it took time to enroll a diverse student body of its founding vision, we remember today this broad vision and history of impact in many fields of inquiry and practice, including a seminary. We wish you courage and vision. President Gòkè-ParÍolá, I invite our prayers for you and the college in this hour. Let us now bow our hearts for the invocation. Gracious and Holy One, we come with gratitude and joy to this moment of investiture for President Gòkè-ParÍolá. Grant him vision, guide his steps, endow him with the peacefulness of principled leadership and the joy of service. Renew in us the power of unity in service of our mission, and grant us disciplined focus to serve joyfully, love boldly, and lead courageously, that we may live out the divine charter of knowledge and vital piety. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Nassett, Chair of the North Central College Board of Trustees, and it's my honor to welcome you to the Wentz Concert Hall, to our campus in Naperville, and to the historic occasion in the life of our institution, the investiture of Dr. Abiódún Gòkè-ParÍolá as the 12th president of North Central College. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I extend warm greetings to all who are here, joining us in person, as well as those around the country and the world who are joining via live video. Welcome to our students, our faculty, staff, and alumni, as well as to friends of the college, community leaders, church representatives, and distinguished guests who have traveled to be with us today. We are pleased that many family members are in attendance supporting Dr. Gòkè-ParÍolá and his wife, Dr. Jenny Smith-ParÍolá. We are so glad to have President Emeritus Hal Wilde in attendance today. It is tradition at a college's presidential investiture that the Board of Trustees formally welcome the new president of the institution. Therefore, I now ask the members of the Board of Trustees, including Dr. Gòkè-ParÍolá, to please stand. Thank you. Please be seated. Dr. Gòkè-ParÍolá, in July of 2024, you faithfully accepted the opportunity to serve as president of North Central College. And before that, you served since 2015 as the college's provost. We, the Board of Trustees, express our sincere appreciation to you for your leadership as president these past 16 months. Under your guidance, North Central continues to thrive academically, culturally, and as an integral part of the Naperville community. Today we gather as a community to formally install you as the 12th president of North Central College. And with a spirit of momentum and optimism, we look forward to you leading the school we love into the future. Next, it is tradition that President Gòkè-ParÍolá will receive greetings from across the North Central College community and beyond, beginning with a student representative.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vince DeMeo. I am a junior double majoring in marketing and business economics. And I serve as the president of the Student Governing Association. Today, I have the distinct honor of representing the entire student body here at the official investiture of the 12th president of North Central College. It is so inspiring that after his near decade of service to the college, that Dr. GP has been rewarded with an appointment to the presidency. His leadership and clear vision have provided a time of stability when we have needed it most. His stabilizing presence hasn't only been felt at the administrative level, though, but also on the ground by the students. He makes it a point to stay up to date with what's going on with the students and shows them off on his Instagram, which we much appreciate. But as I mentioned, I'm here to represent the students. And what kind of representative would I be if I didn't speak to my constituency? So, in preparation for today's event, I spoke to a couple of my peers, and here's what they had to say. Josh Toggle, a senior who attended the career fair this fall, said seeing the president there supporting students was really encouraging, and it gives a lot of hope and promise that he's invested in student affairs. Talon Lemke, a triathlon 2025 champion who graduated this May, spoke about the opportunity of her team getting invited to the president's house. She said not only were they invited over to the president's house, which was an honor unto itself, but also he took the time to talk to everyone. Not only talking to the star students, but also making sure that everyone was fully seen. Finally, Rob Lorenz, a junior and campus recreation flag football player, recalled his visit, the president's visit, to one of his games. He said, "Flag football is fun in itself, but when the president came to root for the team, it brought more excitement to the game. Having someone so high up at the college really brought all of their energy up. So as you can tell, the president's presence has definitely been felt on campus. And not only have I bared witness through these stories his student-first attitude, but I myself have had the honor of developing a great working relationship with the president. From a student government standpoint, the president has always made himself available to hear any feedback or ideas on how we can improve the student experience. With all of that being said, if any of you had any reservations on our college's leader being out of touch, I can assure you, this man lives and breathes Cardinal spirit, pride, and passion. So on behalf of the entire student body, congratulations, Mr. President. We're so happy you're here, and we can't wait to see what you have planned for our college's future. And thank you for the afternoon off from classes.
Trustees, administration, staff, students, and community members, I'm Mary Beth Ressler, faculty speaker, and I am honored to speak at this historic event on behalf of the faculty. In fact, I'm incredibly humbled to be a member of the great faculty at North Central College. Over my past 15 years, I've been able to witness firsthand the ways in which North Central College has rapidly changed. Much of this has been as a result of the work of the 12th president of our institution. Throughout, the hallmark of our institution has remained the same. This is a remarkable place of learning. If you are familiar with North Central, which I'm guessing by your presence here you are, you know that this place is characterized by academic freedom and expression, of challenging ideas and ideals, of caring deeply about the work we do, who we do this work with, and who we do this work for. This is a very special place. At this time, we are faced with strong geopolitical headwinds in higher education. We as a faculty look to leadership to hold fast to the helm and fearlessly guide us through the stormy waters of higher ed, ensuring our ship makes it safely through in one piece with all the crew valued, utilized, and protected. We welcome the president to this challenging yet exciting role. We look forward to working alongside our new president to continue building an institution that not only adapts to change, but leads that change with integrity, creativity, and compassion. The challenges ahead will require courage and collaboration, but they also offer opportunities to reaffirm our shared values of inclusion, inquiry, academic freedom, shared governance, and excellence. The faculty are eager to partner in this effort as we bring our collective expertise and unwavering dedication to the success of each student we serve. As we chart this next chapter together, we move forward with optimism and purpose, grounded in respect for our history, inspired by our mission, and united in our belief that education transforms lives and strengthens communities. At the investiture of our 12th president, we pause and recognize that despite the storms, the horizon is bright. And we will continue to work together to make North Central College a place where each student, faculty member, and staff member can thrive. Congratulations and best wishes to our 12th president.
Good afternoon, students, staff, faculty, trustees, friends of the college, and welcome. My name is Kristen Guido, and I am proud to represent the staff community today. I began my career at North Central in the fall of 2010 as an admission counselor. Presently, I serve as the Associate Director of Admission Outreach, coordinating admission events and campus visit experiences for prospective students and community partners. I am also honored to be serving my second term as the Staff Council Co-Chair, a position I was gratefully elected to by my staff colleagues. Thank you. Staff Council is only 3 years old. It is an elected body of representatives from the staff who raise the visibility of staff contributions and challenges and cultivate professional community. Staff Council functions as an intentional bridge between the staff and campus leadership. Co-chairs meet with the president monthly, and I'm pleased to share that President Abiódún Gòkè-ParÍolá is a true supporter and genuine fan of Staff Council. As I and the greater Staff Council have worked with President GP on initiatives over the last 2 years, the cornerstone of his guidance has been rooted in hospitality. GP consistently provides a welcoming, professional space for staff to ask questions, to engage in transparent conversations about the college's future, and to celebrate the hard work we do every day for the campus community. This level of approachability from a college president is not found at every institution. We are fortunate to have such a mindful leader bringing us into the ever-evolving future for higher education. As we all have learned, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Staff cannot create transformational experiences for students if they themselves are not adequately supported and cared for. President GP understands this deeply. From the start, he has championed initiatives that promote staff growth, well-being, and professional development. I must state that such support is not without difficult decisions, but the goal has remained clear: to make North Central an excellent place for staff to work, learn, and grow. We staff greatly appreciate how visible GP has been at campus events, student events, gatherings, and on Instagram. He has opened his home to student and staff groups to share a meal and get to know each other. College is a place where students can comfortably learn, challenge, be challenged, make mistakes, and grow before they become leaders in their respective professions. GP puts this into practice with not only students, but also faculty and staff. We are all afforded the opportunity to learn, challenge, be challenged, make mistakes, and grow in this North Central community led by our 12th president. Congratulations, President Gòkè-ParÍolá. May your leadership continue to attract, nurture, and launch professionals at every level, staff, faculty, and student alike.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Connor McGurry, and I'm joining you today on behalf of the more than 30,000 North Central College alumni across the globe. As president of the Alumni Board of Directors, I have the privilege of representing a community of individuals brought together by our shared experiences, values, and the impact North Central College has had on our lives. Today, we reaffirm this shared bond within our community as we celebrate and recognize the investiture of our president, GP. Every graduate of this institution carries a piece of North Central with them as they move forward into the world. And as alumni, it is our duty to ensure that every generation of students that follows will be left better than when we first embraced them. To do this, North Central must continue to evolve and change, adapting to the needs of our students and to the world, while remaining true to our roots. In the quest to achieve this, there is one thing that matters most, and that's leadership. In times of uncertainty, the value of leadership cannot be understated. It is more than decision-making. It's about presence and possibility. It's about helping others see a path forward when it may not be perfectly clear. And it's about holding on to shared purpose and values, even as the world around us changes rapidly. In GP, we as alumni see a leader who not only understands and actively celebrates the legacy of North Central College, but one who also challenges us to think bigger, to go further, and to be daring in our next chapter. His blend of humility, curiosity, and conviction is what invites others across this campus to be willing and able to build that future together. The alumni community remains ready to partner with you, GP, to support whatever is next for North Central and our students. We bring with us a network of support across the world, memories of the past, and a steadfast belief in the power of the institution and what it's capable of in the future. On behalf of all alumni, we look forward to working alongside you to ensure that future generations of students will experience the same sense of community brought to life with shared experiences, values, and a knowledge of the impact of North Central College. So congratulations, GP. Thank you for continuing the work of shaping a college and a community that has the power to change lives. We look forward to the journey ahead together.
Good afternoon. I'm Kimberly Sluice, class of 1999, and I assure you I feel great, even if my voice may not have gotten the memo that today is a big and very joyful occasion. But I hope you'll bear with me, because as a graduate of North Central College, a former longtime employee, and a person who has the privilege of working with higher education institutions across the country in my current role, I am so privileged and honored to be here as we celebrate the installation of North Central College's 12th president, my friend and colleague, Dr. Abiódún Gòkè-ParÍolá. I first met GP while serving on the search committee for the college's new provost in 2015. I was immediately struck by his commitment to students and their success. He was clear then, as he is now, that students are at the core of any great college. This commitment to students has only grown stronger, perhaps bolstered by leading through a global pandemic, perhaps in response to a shift in the higher education landscape where student success, including their success after graduation, has risen in priority, and perhaps also by seeing the college in a new light as his own 3 daughters, Rola, Simi, and Segi, enrolled and started attending North Central. Now, as much as ever, that clear priority, a focus on being a place that transforms the lives and opportunities for students who invest in themselves by pursuing higher education, must continue to guide this college. This focus on students is certainly paying off. I've been proud to learn that the college has its largest enrollment in history and is building and adapting academic programs to meet the needs of the future. As we think about what's needed for successful leadership during this era of higher education in our country, I also often find myself thinking about the big, consequential, courageous decisions made by those who led this great institution through other eras, setting the course for where we are today. One of those decisions always jumps out for me: the decision to move the college from Plainfield to Naperville in the late 1860s. Noting that the railroad was being built to travel through Naperville, those leaders acted with vision and foresight. They also did so with a clear commitment to students, citing the fact that the campus could more easily be accessed in Naperville given that proximity to the railroad. GP, you'll be called upon to make your own share of big decisions. I hope that as you do so, you too will act with courage and foresight. I trust you'll always return back to your commitment to students and make decisions with their current and future needs in mind. And I hope that you'll make decisions with the ambitious vision that has guided you throughout your 40-plus years of higher education leadership. There are many, many reasons why I have confidence that you will. I admire you and your colleagues, many of whom I'm privileged to know. I admire your leadership, your creativity, and your fortitude. And I admire the vision you've laid out in NC Forward, a vision that resonates with today's North Central College and an aspirational vision for how the institution must evolve in a changing world and a challenging landscape. The good news is, my friend, and there's plenty of good news, that you are not alone. You lead a college with many assets. As you know so well, the students here are committed, motivated, hungry to learn, including those who are the first in their families to pursue higher education. I know North Central students will always inspire and ground you. You're also surrounded by a dedicated leadership team, an engaged and supportive board, a committed staff, a deeply accomplished faculty, and legions of passionate alumni and friends. It is my hope and my belief that this community will stand with you as you move North Central forward. Faculty, staff, alumni, friends, trustees, this is where the rest of us come in. The college has chosen a great leader, but we know that the greatest of leaders are surrounded by enthusiastic and supportive communities. GP and I share a connection to West Africa. He was born and raised in Nigeria, and I spent a much shorter yet deeply affecting 3 years as a Peace Corps volunteer in Ghana. And if you've heard GP speak, you know the man loves a good African proverb, so it seemed fitting to offer one well-suited for the occasion. I'll share the proverb in Twi, a language I once spoke much better than I do now, so forgive any mispronunciations. The proverb goes like this: Dua bakon intumi enye kwaye. One tree does not make a forest. This proverb emphasizes the importance of community and our responsibility for shared action. It means that one person alone cannot achieve great goals, and that strength is found when we come together with a common purpose. GP, on the occasion of your installation as North Central College's 12th president, I'm honored to offer congratulations from the broader higher education community and with my own affection for both you and this institution. And I call upon all of us at this important time in the college's 164-year history to do our part to ensure that the school we love can accelerate forward, fulfilling its mission, preparing students to be curious, engaged, purposeful, and ethical citizens and leaders for many years to come. Congratulations, President Gòkè-ParÍolá.
Good afternoon. My name is Scott Worley, Mayor of the City of Naperville. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this historic day here at North Central College. You see, it's moments like this that say a lot about who we are, both as a college and as a community. Naperville is a story 194 years in the making. And that's an impressively large number of years for an impressively large city that still has that small town charm, an endearing quality that sets us apart from others. And that small town charm is reflected in the small number of individuals who have held some of Naperville's most notable titles and helped shape our city. Now you may be thinking, wait, small number? Can't be right. It's generations worth of people who have made Naperville what it is. So what are you thinking, Mayor? So bear with me for a moment. Today, North Central College installs its 12th president in its 164-year story. And that's a small number of people who have ever held that title over the years. That small number in relation to North Central's age indicates that Naperville and North Central are places where people come and stay. Much like Old Main, the long tenures of many past presidents publicly symbolize the endurance and stability of this school and this city. Old Main, that postcard-worthy symbol of this institution that stands steady through the storms of life, unassuming yet vigilant, quiet yet strong, a rock for generations of students who have passed through and will continue to pass through its doors. It's bold in construction and has been forged with fire, quite literally, and rose from the ashes to show that the tests of will and faithful perseverance come only from its darkest moments. Now I want you to think of someone who exhibits the traits I just described. A person who values strong leadership and remains steady through triumphs and trials, creating an environment that raises leaders and change makers. How fortunate we are to have that person sitting right there as North Central College's 12th president. Dr. Gòkè-ParÍolá shows his passion for this school through his dedication to its excellence. He's one of those rare individuals who can set a vision and carry out the details to turn vision into reality. And at a time when our city is focusing on attracting the industries of the future like life science, the Dr. Myron Wentz Center for Health Sciences and Engineering, a building that Dr. Gòkè-ParÍolá helped bring to life, it sets this college on a new path of developing and sending out individuals who will improve human health and systems, and in turn, the world. As a proud North Central College alumnus and Naperville's 26th mayor, seeing the school I love and the city I love grow together reinforces the strength and stability each provides through its success. So on behalf of the city of Naperville, I'm honored to congratulate my dear friend, Dr. Gòkè-ParÍolá, on his investiture as North Central College's next president. Just as Naperville is on the verge of the future, today we celebrate North Central entering its next chapter. Naperville and North Central College move best when we move together, and I'm confident that our shared story will continue to grow under Dr. Gòkè-ParÍolá's leadership. Congratulations, and thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Donovieve Smith, and I am honored to be the Grantman Professor in Business and Economics in the School of Business and Entrepreneurship here at North Central College. This is an exciting and historic day, and Investiture is a time-honored academic tradition that marks the formal installation of a new president. The word investiture comes from the Latin investire, which means to clothe. Today, we gather to clothe Dr. Abiódún Gòkè-ParÍolá in the symbols of the North Central College presidency. The first symbol is the special presidential regalia that he is wearing for the first time today. It is cardinal red in color, and each sleeve is marked with a fourth chevron, an honor reserved distinctly for university presidents. The second symbol of authority is the presidential medallion, which is worn by the president in any ceremony that includes academic regalia. Both the presidential regalia and the presidential medallion are embossed with the North Central seal. The seal symbolizes the college's early academic traditions of religion, signified by a lamp, and the Latin word lux, or light, and learning, signified by a book, and the Latin word veritas, or truth. The installation ceremony we are about to witness brings together the North Central community to celebrate the college's legacy of leadership and learning. In a few moments, the board will formally bestow upon Dr. Abiódún Gòkè-ParÍolá the authority of the North Central College presidency. Dr. Kristen Garrity, North Central College Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, will then introduce the president before he delivers an address that appropriately will reflect on the college's mission and values at this moment as we envision a collective future together. We will now proceed with the installation.
Dr. Gòkè-ParÍolá, will you please join me? Dr. Gòkè-ParÍolá, as chair of the North Central College Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to install you as the 12th president of North Central College. May you fulfill the duties of this role with honor, intelligence, passion, and commitment, and may you steadfastly uphold North Central College's mission and vision in service to our students. This presidential medallion serves as a symbol of the authority and responsibility that resides with you as this college's foremost representative. It is inscribed with the names and service dates of the 11 presidents who have served before you, as a reminder of the values, principles, faith, and service that have guided this great college since its founding in 1861. I hereby entrust you with the presidency of North Central College. Congratulations, President Gòkè-ParÍolá.
Good afternoon. I'm Kristen Garrity, and I serve the college as Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. I'm thrilled to be here with you today, as this ceremony is a reminder of our shared commitment to North Central College and to the trust we place in the leadership of this special institution. I've worked with GP since his arrival at the college through several roles during his time as provost. Today, I'm honored to represent the members of the senior leadership team, those who have guided the college through significant change and those bringing new vision to its next chapter. My task this afternoon is to introduce GP, offering a glimpse of his background, his leadership, and his first year and a half as president. GP's undergraduate and graduate degrees are in English language and literature, and he has 50 years of teaching and administrative experience at universities in Nigeria and in the US. He served as Chief Academic Officer for 17 years at 3 institutions, including his 9 years at North Central College. He's an accomplished scholar and an innovative administrator. If you've spent any time at all with him, you know how much he loves his family, how proud he is of his Yoruba stew, and how ridiculously warm he keeps his office year-round. He might convince you that his sauna-like office is an innocent preference, but I suspect it is a gentle test of his guests' focus and resilience. I collected some unscientific data from my colleagues, asking folks who have worked closely with GP about how they would describe him as a leader. And this is what I heard. He's steady, wise, transformational, visionary, forward-thinking, broad-minded, bold, savvy, ambitious, and always fashionable. Have you seen his socks? He's got fabulous socks on. About 10 years and many meetings together, after 10 years and many meetings together, 2 things stand out for me about how GP leads. First, GP is centered. In a world, and especially in a higher ed sector, that's anything but steady or predictable, his calm, centered presence in gatherings big and small has been a gift to our community. Over the past couple of years, I've come to appreciate how GP responds to my own moments of outrage or indignation, whether it's a big issue I'm worked up about or something far less serious. GP's response is almost always measured and centered. Sometimes, I have to admit, frustratingly so. But I've realized that through his own life experiences and leadership journey, he's developed a remarkable ability to stay grounded and to keep his focus where it belongs, on the college's mission and priorities. Second, GP is resilient and hopeful. A few years ago, an article in the Chronicle of Higher Education observed that problems without good solutions often end up on the provost's desk. GP's approach to the provost's role was to seek out systemic challenges and tackle them head-on. That approach meant that there were many challenging days. What stands out to me has been his consistent optimism about the future of the institution. As my colleague Stephen Caliendo put it, GP is determined to make sure that our reputation catches up with our excellence. And I think that sums it up really well. We are now about 18 months into GP's presidency, and more than a few people have commented on the differences between GP the Provost and GP the President. I will end with a few of my observations on this transition. GP the Provost would attend meetings and give mostly serious remarks from behind the lectern. GP the President usually wears a lavalier mic so that he can stroll around the stage, cracking jokes, telling stories, and even sharing videos from his social media account. There was a video of line dancing and a light-up hat you might have seen. GP the Provost wasn't exactly immersed in the world of athletics. That's putting it mildly. GP the President wears baseball caps around campus. He attended the US Open. He struck a Heisman pose on Instagram. And he even threw out the first pitch at a Kane County Cougars game. And I do have to share one little story. When I saw that he was scheduled for this pitch, I panic texted him in the evening and I said, "Do you know what you have signed up for? When is the last time you played catch?" To which he responded, "What is catch?" His first pitch was not surprisingly a success. And finally, for years, we would walk to meetings together. I would chat with students while GP the Provost quietly stood to the side. Now we walk across campus together, and I'm the anonymous provost, while Instagram famous GP gets hugs and fist bumps from everyone we pass. If you can't tell, I deeply enjoy giving GP a hard time about this transformation. But the truth is, the presidency has amplified some of his very best qualities. His ability to clarify complicated issues, to make uncertain moments feel more manageable, to bring people together through stories, and above all, his deep commitment to students and their experience at North Central. As my dear friend, Dr. Carl Kelly shared, GP leads with clear-eyed optimism. He sees challenges, but keeps us focused on our strengths, the difference we make together, and the future we are shaping as a community. On behalf of faculty, staff, and students, with our deep gratitude and shared hope for the future, it is my deep honor to introduce Dr. Abiódún Gòkè-ParÍolá as the 12th president of North Central College. GP.
Thank you very much. A short while ago, my friend Mayor Welly asked me what I was feeling at this moment. I told him two things. One is gratitude for what seems like a miracle, because I've ended up where I never thought I would and where I did not start out the journey towards. But I'm also reminded, as one of my favorite spiritual teachers says, that what we call a miracle is opportunity meeting preparedness. And I'm grateful to North Central College for having prepared me for this role. The second thing I told him was that I was a little scared. What scares me is the outpouring of love, of support, of hope that I've received from across the entire community. You don't want to disappoint people. And I hope I don't do that. So thank you very much. The final thing I said to him was that my heart is full. And just being here today, not just seeing you all, but also listening to remarks that have been made, my heart is truly full. This is an important event for the college. And Mary Reynolds, I'm not going to stick to 20 minutes. But I have plenty of food for the next 2 hours to make up. So this is an important ritual for the college. But as the one who has been entrusted with the leadership of this special place at this moment in its history, I would like to offer a few personal remarks. No one stands or walks alone. So I wish to thank a few of the people whose company and support have made today possible for me. First and foremost, I wish to thank our students who put their faith in us by joining the Cardinal community, thus making our continued existence possible. As many of you have heard me remark, we have only one singular purpose: the success of our students. Without our students, none of us will be here today. Without our students, we will have no reason to exist. Without our students, I will be the president of nothing. And I want us to all keep that in mind always. Next, my thanks go to the college trustees for the confidence they have reposed in me by naming me the college's 12th president in July 2024, just a little over a year ago. I'm grateful for your continued faith in and support of the college. My thanks to my faculty and staff colleagues whose daily toil makes it possible to advance our mission. I thank my faculty colleagues especially for staying with me through some of those rough years in my role as provost, and thank you for all the lessons you taught me. I also offer my thanks to the senior leadership team. I have worked with 4 or 5 different teams, and this is clearly the best I've ever worked with in my life. I offer my gratitude to alumni, our students, parents, our donors, and our friends who provide critical support for us. My thanks to Bishop Schwerin for his invocation, and to the United Methodist Church for its ongoing support. The community values we hold there at North Central College are grounded in our long-standing relationship with the church and its faith tradition. I'm so grateful to be part of preserving these legacies. And I wish to thank some people who have played significant roles in my professional life. Dr. Roosevelt Nielsen, who was Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at Georgia Southern University, saw enough leadership potential to nominate me for the American Council of Education, ACE Higher Education Senior Leadership Program, which set me on my current career trajectory. And my mentor, Dr. Vic Boschini, currently Chancellor Emeritus of Texas Christian University, who in his first year as president of Illinois State University took me on as his ACE fellow and assistant to the president. I have learned lifelong lessons about leadership from Vic. And thank you to my former colleague and my friend Kimberly Lewis for her steady support and encouragement since I met her in 2015. I would also like to give special thanks to two of my colleagues at North Central College. Sue Rickard, my executive assistant during my 9 years as provost, and Provost Christine Garrity, who worked with me in various capacities from my first year at North Central, and was my associate provost at the time I assumed the role of president last year. Sue kept my daily office life running like clockwork, and she and her husband, Tim, have been steadfast pillars of support for me since I arrived in 2015. Thank you, Sue. From day one, Christine has always demonstrated the best qualities of a great team member and friend. The courage and integrity to challenge my thinking, and sometimes tell me plainly that I'm wrong. I don't enjoy it, but she tells me. And then, like the nerd that she is, explains to me the reasons why. Lydia has learned not to panic when she hears raised voices from my office when we meet. In somewhat similar and different ways, they have contributed immeasurably to my modest success. Frankly, without them, I might not be here today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to our speakers today. My heart is indeed full. Your heartfelt messages of prayer, congratulations, and support will inspire me throughout my presidency. As Dr. Lewis said so well, I am indeed not alone in this journey, and you have provided wonderful testimony to that end. Thank you to our incredibly talented student musicians and the faculty who lead them. Your presence and your performances are a gift I will always cherish. I'm grateful to all of you for coming together in a matter of days, I might add, to create a beautiful event. Finally, though certainly not least, I owe my family a debt of gratitude. First is my older sister, Rose, who carried me wrapped in a cocoon on her back for the 3-mile walk home from the hospital 2 days after I was born, while my father took my mother home on his bicycle. I called her my mother until I graduated from university, and even now she has continued to play that role in my life. Without Sister Rosie's lifelong care, prayers, and support, I would definitely not be here today. My wife, Dr. Jenny Smith-ParÍolá, who always encouraged me to be open to higher professional leadership opportunities and has supported me all along. And my children, Olamide, Adedolapo, Gòkè-ParÍolá, Folajimi, who is here today, Adedamola, Gòkè-ParÍolá, Morolake, who is also here today, Folashade, Gòkè-ParÍolá, Segilola Julianne Smith-ParÍolá, and Simisola Louisa Sewalola Oluteniola Smith-ParÍolá. Now, you may wonder why Simi, my shadow at events around campus and on my Instagram account, has so many names. Her birth made her the baby of the family, hence her name, Simi Sola, my joy is complete. And she decided that she would hedge her bet by grabbing all other potential names, thus blocking the possibility of any younger brothers or sisters. Now, at the ripe age of 70, I applaud your foresight, Simi, so thank you. My kids keep me grounded, celebrate my successes, and embrace me when I'm down. They also often remind me how old I am, so I don't act too cool for my own good, and perhaps more important, so I don't embarrass them in front of their friends, as we parents are wont to do. They tease me mercilessly, and I mean mercilessly, so I never lose my sense of humor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I stand here today as a representative of the North Central College community and all who have been part of my journey, I am honored and deeply humbled to wear this Cardinal Red regalia and the Presidential Medallion. The situational context for leadership is a mix of who we are and the circumstances in which we are thrust into a leadership role. Life is indeed a journey. So how did I arrive at this moment? It's often said that an African never misses an opportunity to tell stories. And when you come to an older African, your chances are even worse. So that's what I'm going to do for most of the day, is tell you stories. I am the sixth of 7 surviving children, 4 girls and 3 boys, born to Alphonsus Dada Pariola and Louisa Folashade Pariola, both now departed. My parents' names tell us a lot about the worldview that influenced me as I grew up. Created by the British in 1914, Nigeria is a country of about 230 million people, with over 250 different ethnic groups who speak languages that are mutually unintelligible. So English is the common language for all of us. They claim adherence in about equal numbers to Christianity and Islam, with several of the same people simultaneously hedging their bets by subscribing to what many will view as traditional Nigerian religions. Growing up, it was not uncommon to have 3 siblings who each practiced a different religion: Christianity, Islam, and other traditional religions, with no conflict. At Christmas time, we sent food over to our Muslim neighbors, who reciprocated by sharing the feast at the end of the Ramadan with us. And we eagerly look forward to celebrating the return of the ancestors as masquerades each year. We all saw ourselves as children of Olodumare, that is, the owner of all secrets, who sees and knows everything and holds the world together, the one divine creator. Sadly, acceptance of an interfaith worldview is not so common today. Both my parents, Alphonsus and Louisa, had Christian names given to them at baptism in the Catholic Church, which at that time was the predominant Christian denomination in our part of southwestern Nigeria. Each was also given a second name, a second Yoruba name, that affirmed their ethnic and sub-ethnic identities as Ekiti Yoruba. Per tradition, my father's middle name, Dada, is a name self-selected by a child at birth, because he was born with matted, silky, woolly hair that could not be cut for the first time without performing a special religious ritual. And thus, he came into the world with that name chosen for him. And it means the spiritual child. In the case of my mother, whose middle name was Folashade, the suffix Ade, A-D-E, signified that she was from a royal lineage, as it is a word for the crown in Yoruba. And only those born to one of the royal families in a city could have that prefix or suffix in their names. In 1950, my father received his bachelor's degree from the University of London. In addition to being a first-generation college student, he was also the first in a small hometown, which at that time had about 50,000 people, to receive a college degree. Several families promptly changed their last name to Pariola, so hope that good luck. We follow them. He spent his professional life as a high school teacher and principal. Thus, the idea of not going to college did not even occur to any of us children, and we all promptly did. My father's opportunity changed the lives of all 7 of his children, and it has continued to change the lives of our own children and their own children. As you can see, my childhood and early adulthood were in an environment that was strong in traditional communal values that were also profoundly influenced by Christian values. Growing up in this environment, I learned many lessons and acquired several values and dispositions, such as love of one's neighbors, the importance of serving others, the values of one's words and actions as a measure of a person's worth and integrity, withholding judgment because people are different from you, and an abiding belief in the idea that we were put on earth by the Creator for a purpose, and that life is not the end of one's existence. In the specific context of my professional experience, I learned about the transformational power of education and the importance and responsibility of providing opportunities to those who are not so privileged, someone like my father in 1950. Every professional move for me has been in search of better ways to serve students, regardless of nationality, race, ethnicity, faith, identity, gender, or socioeconomic background, in their pursuit of a college degree and a more fulfilling life. I started college at the age of 15, knowing even less about what I wanted to study than most of our students today knew. But I quickly fell in love with English because stories transported me to places I'd never been. And because of my love of languages, I also studied linguistics and minored in German. Upon graduation at 19, and after completing the mandatory year of national service, I enrolled in a linguistics PhD program at my former university, eventually completing my doctoral studies at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. And in 1915, I joined North Central College as Chief Academic Officer. Three things attracted me to North Central College. First, the position description for the Chief Academic Officer called for someone who could lead change. That was something very unusual at that time in higher education, especially for a college that was doing exceptionally well. Two, the college's mission and its uncompromising commitment to the liberal arts as the foundation of all its educational programs. And three, I read up the college's founding history. In my view, these three constitute defining characteristics of North Central College. So let's first talk about change orientation. First, North Central College has historically embraced a spirit of positive restlessness. We have never been content to be followers, nor have we ever been content to rest on our laurels. We have met challenging moments with smarts, forward thinking, and courage, as demonstrated in the call for change in 2015 at a moment of relative strength. That spirit has served us well, and it is why we are thriving today amid the many challenges that colleges like us face. Two, commitment to a liberal arts education. Our mission states that we are a diverse community of learners dedicated to preparing students to be curious, engaged, ethical, and purposeful citizens, and leaders in local, national, and global contexts. A fundamental way we do this is by making the liberal arts foundational to all our programs, while also intentionally integrating pre-professional and professional studies. Now, I have always been partial to Seneca's interpretation of liberal education as an experience that is ultimately about cultivating one's humanity. And as the noted philosopher Martha C. Nussbaum of the University of Chicago so eloquently posits, there are three essential qualities for the cultivation of humanity. The first is the capacity for critical examination of oneself and of one's tradition. Socrates said, an unexamined life is not worth living. Can you imagine the world if people had not questioned whether women are human beings and deserve to vote, rather than being counted along with cattle and sheep as property of their husbands? If people had not challenged many of the laws in this country, I would not be married to my wife today because it was illegal. And there are people who are gay, who are queer today, who will not be happy or alive and doing well if other people of all faiths and traditions are not come together to say, why not? The second is the ability to see ourselves not simply as citizens of some local region or group, but also and above all, as human beings bound to all other human beings by ties of recognition and concern. And three, the narrative imagination. This is the ability to think what it might be like to be in the shoes of a person different from oneself, to be an intelligent reader of that person's story, and to understand the emotions and wishes and desires that someone so placed might have. 3 important things we need to do. For me, this is the philosophical and pragmatic foundation for our engagement with the world. The calling for educators demands no less. Central to our purpose is helping students to acquire the knowledge and dispositions of people who understand and accept the privileges and the responsibilities of being human. It doesn't stop with them. It doesn't stop with their family. It doesn't stop with their town or their state or their ethnic group. It extends to all of the world, including all creations of God, trees, waters, mountains, everything. We are supposed to provide the kind of education that equips students to deal with what we call unscripted problems later in life. Unforeseen challenges such as the emergence of artificial intelligence, for example, or the unimaginable and destabilizing complexity of the world we live in today. Our distinguished faculty prepares students for an unscripted future exceptionally well, second to none. 3, the college's history as a guide for meeting the moment. Much of the news about higher education these days is unfortunately not very uplifting. We talk about demographic shifts, skepticism about the value of a college degree, and rapidly evolving federal policies, including some that challenge our core values. I want to share a reflection on where North Central College sits at this moment in time. It is a moment that calls for us to remind ourselves of our core founding values and our purpose as passed along throughout our history. How do we stay true to those values and use them as a guiding light for making decisions that impact our students and for engaging with one another as a campus community and with our fellow citizens and the world? Bishop Swearing spoke to this song earlier. He reminded us in his opening message that this institution was established by the Evangelical Association, a predecessor denomination of the United Methodist Church. In 1861, the Illinois Conference passed a resolution to found a college for German-speaking immigrant men and women. In union with the Wisconsin, Indiana, and Iowa conferences, Plainfield College, as our college was known at that time, opened in a single 2-story building in Plainfield, Illinois, with just 40 students. Later, after relocating to Naperville, the institution assumed a new name, North-Western College. In 1926, we changed our name once again to North Central College, mainly so we can differentiate ourselves from that pesky little school somewhere in Evanston, Illinois. We tried to steal our thunder by calling itself Northwestern University. We sure showed them, didn't we? From the time of our founding, our institution was co-educational, though it was not common at that time for women to even attend college. It was even less common for men and women to learn alongside one another. But providing access to education, doing what is right and just, was consistent with our core values even then. Our institution's first president, Nancy, I guess you know who this is, was Augustine Smith, A.A. Smith, president of the Evangelical Association's Greensburg Seminary in Ohio. He had also been an administrator at Oberlin College. He and his family actively supported abolition, temperance, and women's rights while fighting against racial discrimination. And as he famously said, our college should be a great moral lighthouse, sending out a clear and steady light upon all subjects. It's important that we consider the local and national context at the time. Black people were still enslaved in the South. President Abraham Lincoln was in the White House. In April 1861, just months before this college was founded, the Civil War broke out at Fort Sumter, just off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina. Since our founding, rooted in President Smith's famous words, this institution has withstood the travails of war, economic crisis, social upheavals, pandemics, including one in our recent history, and more. All while continuing to send generations of graduates out into the world with hope, promise, and a commitment to the common good. All while staying true to our heritage of access and welcome to all. All while staying true to a forward-thinking approach to our job. That is what has enabled us to meet the challenging needs and changing needs of students from Civil War veterans to millennial entrepreneurs. To say that these are extraordinarily challenging times for us as a nation, and indeed for the entire world, would be an understatement. Yet every challenge contains seeds of opportunity. And for us, there are opportunities for renewal, for strengthening, and for growth. As the leader of the Methodist movement, John Wesley wrote, the rules for Christian living are simple. Do no harm, do good, and stay in love with God. Do no harm, do good, and stay in love with God. Now more than ever, it is important for us to, 1, do no harm. Respect other people's cultures and backgrounds, identities, nationalities, faith traditions, their fundamental values as God's creation. 2, do good. Be kind, charitable, and serve others, not just those who look like you or have the same nationality as you do. And in doing these two things, stay in love with the Creator. As an institution, we will continue to be guided by these values because, simply put, that is who we are. Not an institution driven just by pecuniary considerations, money, no matter how fascinating and expedient that might be. We must not retreat from our founding core values as a community defined by love, justice, and grace. Not just through words, but through practice. These are the principles that will continue guiding my presidency. Now facing the future. North Central College's purpose is to deliver a transformational, high-quality education that intentionally integrates the liberal arts with pre-professional and professional studies, resulting in exceptional post-graduation and professional and life outcomes for our students. In the fall of 2024, I laid out my vision for the college's strategic direction by identifying 5 priorities or pillars, and I think most of you know them by now, that will guide the development of NC Forward, the college's strategic vision plan. The 5 pillars: institutional identity, an ability to define and strengthen our core identity and by articulating a clear value proposition. 2, which is actually the fulcrum, student experience and engagement, to create a first-rate experience for our students that's high quality, focuses on their success, fosters their well-being, and expands the impact of their experience beyond the classroom. 3, financial and operational sustainability. We need to develop a model that allows us to be sustainable long-term, balance our budgets, have money left over to reinvest in our students and in this wonderful campus. 4, community values. Articulate and ensure adherence to the college's core values. And those are the values that determine how we engage with one another, the things we want our students to take away from here. And 5, people, faculty, and staff experience. We want to continue to recruit and retain and support high-quality faculty and staff, which would enable us to support students and deliver on our mission and value proposition. 5, it's not very complicated. That's what we need to do. And all revolve around the success of our students. Through the work of a 30-member strategic planning council that engages faculty, staff, students, and trustees, NC Forward articulates a collective vision for North Central College's future, building on its history of academic excellence and community engagement while addressing the challenges of an evolving higher education landscape. The plan reaffirms the college's mission to prepare students to be curious, engaged, ethical, and purposeful citizens and leaders, while ensuring that we remain financially sustainable. That's key, but also inclusive and innovative. So this sets a strategic direction for us for both short-term and long-term planning. If we follow it, we are not just going to survive, we are going to thrive. And that's the goal. It's not just to survive, but to thrive. Thanks for your patience. Here's my promise to you. I will do everything in my power to fulfill the responsibilities before me every single day, with an unwavering focus on ensuring the success of our students, who have honored us with the privilege of traveling along with them at this stage of their life journey, as teachers, co-learners, mentors, coaches, and cheerleaders. Now getting to the end of my remarks. According to the Yoruba faith tradition, and the word actually began in Nigeria. It's not in the Garden of Eden, it's actually in Nigeria. In fact, my university was in the city where the whole word began. Okay? So according to the Yoruba faith tradition, at the beginning of creation, as human beings who are called Eniyan, they who have been chosen, they knelt before the Creator after they had received the breath of life from the Creator. They asked, "So, Creator, what is our purpose in going to this world?" They asked. Because there are several worlds. They were the one here chosen. It could be the ant that's leading creation to the next one. It could be the goat or a tree, different ones, but this is for us. So what is our purpose in going to this world? They asked. And the Creator specified our purpose thus. Dandan ènìyàn, lẹni tí a yàn láti mú rere wáyé. For certain, it is human beings who have been chosen to lead creation to the world and to add goodness to the world, to add to that goodness they find in the world without losing the goodness they brought with them. That's our purpose, is to add goodness to the goodness we find in the world without losing that which we brought. That's the purpose. It's very simple. The path to fulfilling that purpose is through love. Love for all, regardless of race, ethnicity, nationality, faith tradition, gender, sexual identity, or socioeconomic status. We all inhabit the same world, and as the Yoruba say, "Ọ̀run yábọ̀ kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ ẹnìkan." Should the sky decide to cave in, it's not selective. It's going to cave in on all of us. It doesn't choose. It doesn't care what your party is, what your race or color. It does not care. It's one world. Love is the only worthwhile motivation for our work with our students and with one another. Those who truly change the world for the better, those who add goodness to the world, are not consumed by anger or fear or hate. No. They are overwhelmed with love. That's the emotion. And someone who has truly absorbed the ethos of a liberal arts education will resist the temptation to fall prey to these destructive emotions despite their seductive enticement. This is what our movement in today's world calls for. I want to thank you again for being here. You have done the college and me a great kindness by being witnesses to today's ritual. In gratitude, I offer the following parting gift. Words from Deepak Chopra, author of the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. He writes, Gautama Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, once said, "This existence of ours is as transient as autumn clouds. To watch the birth and death of beings is like watching the movements of a dance. A lifetime is like a flash of lightning in the sky, rushing by like a torrent down a steep mountain." We have stopped for a moment to encounter each other, to mate, to love, to share. This is a precious moment, but it is transient. It's a little parenthesis in eternity. If we share with caring, lightheartedness, and love, we will create abundance and joy for each other, and then this moment would have been worthwhile. Ẹ ṣé, mo dúpẹ́. Thank you.
So this is not in the printed This is not in your printed program, but I have a surprise announcement that I'd like to make. As you would expect, presidents are not comfortable with surprises, but I'm going to go ahead and do this anyway. My cabinet colleagues outnumber GP, so he doesn't have a choice. You just heard our 12th president talk passionately and eloquently about the student experience. A mantra of GP's presidency from day one has been, without students, we have no purpose. It is simple and profound and a reminder of the work we all do at North Central College to transform lives. In the last decade, it has and will continue to be difficult for many students to bear the financial burdens that come with earning an undergraduate degree. A point of emphasis for GP and the entire senior leadership team remains growing the resources available for students who are in need of extra assistance. Today, on the occasion of his investiture as the 12th president of North Central College, I am honored to announce that the cabinet has contributed a seed gift to the President Abiódún Gòkè-ParÍolá Student Persistence Fund. We are delighted, go ahead. We are delighted to support our students in this way and to celebrate GP by naming this fund in his honor. In the days, weeks, and months ahead, it will be a fundraising priority to build this important fund to ensure that students can continue their education, successfully earn their undergraduate degree, and enthusiastically walk across the stage at commencement. Please join me in congratulating President Gòkè-ParÍolá.
I didn't know what that was. I thought it was a game of catch. I was going to get a little afraid, but that was a good one. So, hello, my name is Tracy Morris. I am a proud alumnus of North Central College. I am in awe of today and excited to be here. I'm also the vice chair of the Board of Trustees. So, I want to say congratulations to Gòkè-ParÍolá. We're so proud of you and proud to be here. As I listened to everything today, I wanted to say I took something away, that one tree doesn't make a forest. So as GP embarks upon this next journey, continuing on this journey, he needs all of us to support him, to be with him, to make sure that our community is also very proud of all the work that North Central is doing. I'm very proud of it. The partnership that we have to have with GP as he continues is so important, and I know all of you feel the same way that I do. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to thank all of you for being here today for this great celebration. May we all continue together as a community for North Central, a place that we love. Before we conclude, I want to give a special thank you to the musicians. The concert wind by Lawrence Van Owen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The concert choir, Ramona Wist, a conductor, and it was amazing. And also Mimi Roland, amazing, endowed chair of the Fine Arts. Thank you for sharing the beautiful gift of music with all of us. As I ask that everyone please stand. As you are able for the benediction, then remain standing for the college alma mater. Please join in singing. We'll find the words in your program, so please follow along. At the conclusion, President Gòkè-ParÍolá and the board chair, Nassett, will come up to the podium and lead us out. And I'm very excited that you're here today and so happy to be a part of this. So I'm going to turn it over for the benediction.
As we conclude this historic ceremony, please join me for a closing prayer that draws from the words of our college's seal, Lux Veritas, light and truth. Gracious Lord, eternal source of light and truth, we thank you for this day of dedication and hope. You have gathered us in community to celebrate not only the investiture of our President, GP, but also the renewing of a sacred trust, the trust to seek truth with courage, to illumine minds with wisdom, and to serve the world with compassion. We also recall the words of St. Basil the Great, who wrote in a letter to his friend Gregory, "To seek truth is to seek God, for God is truth, and to find God is to find light." Bless, O Lord, this college, its students, faculty, and staff, its trustees, benefactors, alumni, and friends. May it ever be a shining moral lighthouse in a world that often wanders in the shadows. Let its classrooms, laboratories, studios, stages, courts, and fields be places where curiosity is kindled, integrity is nurtured, and the human spirit is lifted toward what is good, just, beautiful, and true. Bless our new president with insight and steadfastness. Grant him the grace to listen deeply, to lead humbly, and to dream boldly. May his vision be clear, his heart compassionate, and his energy renewed daily by the joy of serving this learning community. Protect and strengthen his family, who together with him have made real sacrifices for our college's good. Bless all who labor here with the same light that guided the founders of this institution in 1861, a light that dispels ignorance, that welcomes every seeker of truth, and that honors the dignity of every person as a creature bearing your divine image. Let our learning not be for selfish goals, but for the flourishing of others, the healing of creation, and the deepening of wisdom and justice across generations. And now may the peace that surpasses understanding, the light that no darkness can overcome, and the truth that sets all people free, guide and guard this college, its president, and all who call it home, today and always. Amen.